Let's talk about March 2020. The world stopped, and for millions of people, so did something else. That monthly reminder that you're still paying for a degree that you got a decade ago. Right? Student loan payments. It was frozen. It felt like relief. It felt like breathing room, right? Some people called it a lifeline. Others called it a trap, right? So honestly, it was the pause that changed everything. For many years, $400 a month stayed in people's pockets instead of disappearing into loan services accounts, right? People started living differently, started saving for the first time. Think about what your life has been like since 2020, right? Paying down credit cards, building emergency funds, traveling, maybe buying something, buying a property, investing in the stock market. The economy felt it too. Consumer spending jumped. Retail had record quarters, and housing stayed hot longer than it should have. The pause wasn't just about individual borrowers. It was injecting billions back into the economy every single month. But Wall Street noticed, and they were watching. While every day people were just trying to survive, analysts was running models. What happens when the pause ends? How much spending power how much spending power disappears when loans come back? What sectors take the hit first? Who profits from the reactivation? Big money wasn't worried about the restart. They were positioning for it. Buying up loan servicer stocks, Nelnet, the others, right? Investing in collections infrastructures. Building portfolios for consumer pullback. Because they understood something most people don't. That pause was always temporary. But the strategies they built around its end, those are permanent. So in 2022, they announced an extension. 2023, extended again. Just a few months, we're evaluating. Help is coming. Every extension felt like mercy, but it was really just a delay. And with every delay, people adjusted. People forgot what it was like to have that student loan payment. They made financial decisions assuming that the pause may last, maybe even forever. People bought cars, signed leases, took on new debt, not recklessly, but just normal life, right? Because how do you plan for something that keeps getting postponed, right? But in 2023, the message changed, right? Payments resume in October, no more extensions, no more negotiations. The pause is over. And for 40 million people, reality really came back. But here's what most people didn't realize. The restart wasn't just about paying back their student loans again. It was about what happens to everyone else when billions of dollars a month get rerouted from the economy back into the debt machine, right? The ripple was always going to be bigger than the splash, right? So now in 2025, we're at the moment before impact. Right now, we're standing at that edge because some people have already felt it, and others, starting in January, are about to. And the system pause is not the same one that's restarting, because while you was on pause, they were preparing. Who is they? You know. The payment is coming back. But that's not the story. The story is what happens next. Let me pause y'all right quick. Everybody's chasing money. This is 2025, pretty much 2026 now. Nobody's teaching you how to think though. That's the problem that I'm solving with Brick by Brick. No hype, no guru nonsense, no screenshots with the dates cropped out. Just real trades, real logic, real losses included. Every week we do this. We walk through exactly what I did, the entry, the exit, the Greeks, and the mistakes I made, because I'm not perfect, so none of us repeat them. You're not buying signals, y'all. You're learning how to see the game. The Greeks room, the full playbook, the framework behind every decision. This isn't a shortcut. Let me make that clear now. It's a skill. So if you're done guessing and actually ready to understand what you're doing with your money, the link's below. Brick by brick. It's built different. You're built different. But let's do this together, y'all. Let's talk about the debt reset that nobody saw coming. So look around you. Someone you know just got financially blindsided, and they're pretending that everything's fine. It's fine, right? That student loan payment didn't just come back. It detonated for them. And here's what nobody is saying out loud. This isn't a personal finance problem anymore. This is a macroeconomic event disguised as monthly billing. So let me show you the math they're hiding. 40 million barbers, average payment, $400 a month. That's $16 billion leaving the consumer economy every single month. That's not a budget adjustment. That's a structural extraction. People aren't cutting back on luxuries. They're making impossible choices. Do I fix my transmission or do I make this payment? Do I refill my prescription or do I stay current? Do I eat well or avoid default? This is financial trauma packaged as responsibility. Here's the sequence Wall Street been gaming out. Student loans restart. Disposable income evaporates. Credit cards become lifelines. Balances, balloon. Minimum payments, double. People start triaging bills. Delinquency spikes. Credit scores crater. Access to capital disappears. You're watching the slow motion destruction of middle class purchasing power. And it's designed this way. And we're never going to talk about rentals, y'all. But let's talk about who's eating. While you're choosing between payments, somebody building wealth off your struggle. Loan servicers, collecting fees, collection agencies, buying debt at pennies on the dollar. Credit bureaus monetizing your financial plan. Hedge fund packaging distressed loans into securities. Your crisis is their quarterly earnings beat. They're not hoping you succeed. Newsflash, they're betting you won't. And the system is going to reward them for it. So let's talk about the invisible wealth transfer really quick. This is what they don't teach you in economics class. When you fall behind, your debt doesn't vanish. It gets weaponized, sold to collectors at 30 cents on the dollar, bundled with thousands of others, turned into high-yield investment products, sold to pension funds and institutional investors. Your $50,000 in student loan debt becomes someone's passive income stream. The same dollar that you borrowed gets monetized 5 different ways before you even finish paying it back. That's not a broken system. That's a profitable one. So here's the shift. Stop thinking like someone who owes and start thinking like someone who understands the game. Because this is why you listen to me right now. Ask better questions. Which companies profit when defaults rise? What sectors expand during financial contraction? Where does capital flow when consumers are being squeezed? Because if you only see yourself as the debtor, you'll always be on the defense. But when you understand the infrastructure of debt, you see opportunities they don't want you to notice. Y'all, this is why we're here, to be able to get the knowledge, all right? So here's the truth that they really buried. The student loan restart isn't about education funding. It's about maintaining extraction, keeping a generation locked in payment cycles so perpetual they never build equity. They constant, so constant they never accumulate capital, so suffocating that they never compete. Think about what your kids are going to deal with. But here's what they miscalculated. The more people understand this system, the less power it has. So I'm not telling you to be scared. That's not what we're talking about. I'm telling you to be informed, because the next move isn't about surviving, all right? It's surviving the payment. It's about understanding who designed the game and why they need you to keep playing. The bill came back, but so did your awareness. You.